And you take it away, Jen.
Okay, we're going to get started. So like I had said, just make sure you have some basic art materials nearby, markers, paper, pencils, crayons, anything that you have will do. There is no right or wrong art supplies to have during our session. And also, I'll invite you to create some artwork at the end of the session. But if you feel like it's helpful to be, creating and doodling as we're doing the meditation, if that's more grounding for you, I'd invite you to try that as well. Many of you have been in my sessions, so you kind of know the flow. And we're going to get started. So tonight, what we're going to focus on is nature and its elements. We're going to participate in a guided visualization, and we're really going to focus on listening deeply to ourselves tonight in this mindfulness practice. And then we will be creating art together. So for now, I'd like you to see if you can close your eyes, or again, if you'd prefer to experiment with your art materials instead, that's totally fine. See if you can just settle into your space for the next 10 minutes or so. Feel free to shut off your camera if you would like to during this time, and just take a moment to check in with yourself, get a sense of your breathing. Is your breathing fast or slow? Is it shallow? Are you able to breathe deeply? Just kind of take an inventory. And something I'd like you to keep in mind tonight is that there is no right or wrong way to create. There's certainly no judgment in this space. And so I really want you to focus on the process of this mindfulness practice and how art may be able to support that for you, the process of art making. Okay. And so as you have your eyes closed, try to take an inventory of what's happened today. Back to the beginning of your day. Maybe it's been a positive day or difficult day. Acknowledge that you made it here and you're taking the time for self-care. Just see if you can feel some gratitude towards yourself for showing up tonight. See if you can put the day that has come to rest. And now all that you have to do is be here in this space. And really all that you have to do is focus on your breath. Just let it move in and out of your body. Practicing non-judgmental awareness of the breath. And as your mind naturally starts to wander, just gently come back to your breathing. You can imagine that you're breathing in relaxation and you're breathing out any tension that you feel. Notice where that tension is in your body. If there's any spaces calling for your attention, breathe into those places now. Maybe you're even having a migraine tonight. See if you can just breathe into that pain or that tension that you have wherever it is in your body. And see if you can also set an intention for yourself in this time that we have together. What do you need from this time tonight? Just take a moment to see what comes up for you. I'm going to read us a short poem to continue our process. This is about the elements and it's by Wee Ali. Remember that you are water. Cry, cleanse, flow, and let go. Remember that you are fire. Burn, tame, adapt, ignite. Remember that you are air. Observe, breathe, focus, decide. Remember that you are earth. Ground, give, build, and heal. Remember that you are spirit. Connect, listen, know, be still. Take another breath here. Take in those words. We take in the beauty of all of those elements and how they might show up for us in our life. And now see if you can, for yourself, recall and try to visualize a time that you were in nature. Or maybe this is an imaginary place that you're visualizing. Could be a specific memory that pops into your mind's eye. Or again, just a place that you can imagine that feels peaceful for you. Perhaps there are flowers or trees, animals, water, mountains. See what kind of space this is. Really explore it for yourself visually. Identify the colors and the objects that are in this place. Maybe if it's hard to visualize, you can imagine what the air feels like. How do you imagine it? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is there a breeze? Is it still? And what kind of sounds is it that you hear? Maybe you hear animals or other birds or the wind blowing through the trees. Maybe it's the sound of water gliding across rocks, or maybe it's the ocean. See if you can just be present with whatever is showing up for you in this space. And as you breathe in the air, notice how it smells. Notice how it tastes. And now ask, what is this space trying to tell you? If you really listen, does it have a message for you, for your own well-being? What do you hear? What is it that you need right now that maybe this space can provide? See if you can sit with this for a moment and really listen. Always continuing your breath, always returning to that breath as non-judgmental awareness. Take a few more moments here. Allow yourself to soak in all that is here. When you feel like you're ready, you can come back to the room slowly. You can stretch how you naturally want to move. Feel free to shake out your body. You can open your eyes. And now you can start to take notice of the materials that you have in front of you, the art supplies that you've received and that you will be using tonight. And see if you can put your hands out on the paper. Just kind of start to notice how it feels on your hands. And you can choose a color that you're drawn to or whatever is calling for your attention. Again, this could be anything. And start to see if you can gently create something that represents your time that you spent in nature. You could draw a symbol that you observed or saw, or you can just choose colors that feel like they connect to that space. You could write down if there was a verbal message that you received, you can include that somehow. There's no right or wrong. And again, we're focusing on continuing our mindfulness practice into our art. So just start to notice how your hand naturally wants to move across the page. And allow that. You may have some inner criticism that comes up. A lot of us don't think we're very talented artists. And there could be a little bit of self-doubt that comes up, but remember that it's not about what we create, it's how we felt when we created it. And we will work in silence for the next few minutes. We have limited time together and we may not be able to finish our work, but we can at least get started. And this is always something that you can come back to in your own practice. So I'm going to mute myself for a few moments, and please utilize your materials to create for about 5 minutes or so, and then we will come back together. We're going to create for another minute or so. And again, I just want to remind you, there's no right or wrong here. Be gentle with yourselves through this process. Notice what kind of thoughts come up. Everything's okay here, even if it just feels like you're scribbling. That is totally acceptable and wonderful and playful. Give yourselves about another minute and then we will come back together. Okay, see if you can come to a bit of a natural stopping point for yourself. And again, I know it can be hard to stop when you're in the middle of a project. I think I might want to work on mine for a few more hours. This is just intended to be a taste of what the experience can be like and to kind of set the tone for a meditative art experience for you. But I would encourage you to continue this on your own if you enjoy it. For the next few minutes, if people want to unmute themselves, if there's anything that you want to share, certainly no obligation, but if there's anything that you want to share about what came up for you today in the process, you're welcome to do that now.
I was just gonna say when you first started talking about the elements, I think they're called elements. You brought up water, that I just had this thought of, hope springs eternal, and that was just nice to think about this powerful force. And then you brought in all these other powerful forces. Nice, I like that.
Wow. Yeah, it's incredible the things that will come up for us. Hope spring is eternal. That's what it was for you? Yeah, it's beautiful. Wow. And when we take a moment to really listen to ourselves, there's some really powerful stuff there that can come up and help us. Would anyone else like to add anything?
The focus on me going back and remembering my latest fly fishing trip in September, and then basically making a very rough drawing of that, the distraction of that helped with my migraine today as far as minimizing it, at least temporarily. The distraction of that.
That's great. And that sounds like a great memory to get back to and to enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that it helped with your migraine today.
Yeah.
I find no matter which mindfulness series I join, it always helps with my migraine or the oncoming possible migraine or the leaving migraine. Whichever phase.
I know this was your first time joining the art therapy exercise, Lisa. How was that for you?
So I loved it. I was brought back to a place that I used to visit. I was, for a couple years after college, I was an English teacher in Japan.
Wow.
So I like sort of went back to a waterfall there.
Mm.
I'm in the New England area, so nature here is quite lovely too, but nothing
Mhm.
beats nature there in my experience. And I had the phrase, you belong, come to my head. And it wasn't necessarily about belonging in one country versus another, but just that in nature, we as people belong,
Mm.
that
Mm.
forget we're part of it. So that's what came up for me.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's a great reminder for us all.
Yeah.
We are part of nature.
And even our migraine is part of nature in some way, even nature
Mm.
messing up a bit.
Wow. Yeah, it's true, right? Yeah.
It's there, it was there for a reason, maybe in the beginning, that maybe we don't need it anymore, but I think of my migraine as a warning system that went haywire.
Hmm.
I don't know if anyone else relates, but
Absolutely. Yep. And I think you're right. For some of us, maybe it served a purpose. It helped us to adapt, in some way previously in our life, and now it's just causing us all these problems.
right.
Yeah.
Jennifer, I live on the lower mainland of British Columbia, so I don't know if you know about the water we have here. So that's
Yeah,
all I
not quite.
no, that's all there's terrible flooding here. The whole province is in, the
Oh.
roads are all, yeah, we've had a really just a unusual amount of rain, and all the animals are dying out in the Fraser Valley, and it's just been terrible. So when you started with the water, I thought, oh, that's all I can think about is
Oh.
so it's okay though. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm safe. That's the main thing. But yeah,
A bit traumatizing to think about water.
yeah, a lot of people have died, and
Oh,
horses and cows, thousands of animals have died.
wow.
So it's been quite something. But anyway, I didn't do I downloaded some of those gingerbread things that came today. It was a link. So I actually have been coloring a gingerbread house.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist, so that was,
Yeah.
yeah, I really enjoy these. So, and I didn't have a migraine today, so that was good.
That's great.
Yay.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, it was great to see you all. And Lisa, I don't know if there's any announcements that you need to provide.
Yeah, real quick. Our next social series event is Jingle and Mingle on Sunday, December 12th. And I can put in the chat the link for registration. And then our yoga facilitator, Adrienne, is offering for a limited time her online Yoga for Migraine First Aid series at a really big reduced price. If anyone wants to look, I'll put those two links in the chats. And then a reminder to the group that we now hold sessions twice a month. And the next session will feature a new mindfulness facilitator on Thursday, December 2nd. So give me 1 minute and I'll get the links in the chat. And Connie's asking, where did the gingerbread pictures come from? For our friend.
They were on the link that came today from for the holiday jingle or whatever it is. It says something about downloading. Yeah, and they're quite cute actually. So gives you something to do too.
I think I sent the same link twice because I apparently cannot multitask.
Thank you.
Oh, the link for Adrienne went to our social series for some reason. So I apologize for that. I'm not sure where to get that. So if you're not sure, you could always email Miles from Migraine and ask.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. And I just want to thank Miles for Migraine for hosting this, and looking forward to seeing you all again, hopefully for the next part of the mindfulness series.
Thanks so much,
Okay.
Jen, and thanks
Thank you.
for coming.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you.